cash payments, credit side of cash book. நம்ம இதுக்கு முன்ன பார்த்தது receipts. Now we are going to see payments. What is payments? What are the topics are included in this? All the payment made to creditors, expenses incurred in cash, and all other payment done appear on the credit side of cash book, and the auditor is required to vouch cash payments because chances of cash misappropriation are very high. So the following points need to be considered. The different types of cash payment. First one, opening balance. The opening balance of cash book can never be credited because cash of company cannot be in negative, but the credit bank balance represents a overdraft. எப்பயுமே பேங்க் கேஷ் பேலன்ஸ் வந்து நம்ம வந்து நெகட்டிவாக காட்ட முடியாது, எப்பயுமே negative, but the credit bank balance represents the overdraft bank from utilization of cash credit limit as sanctioned from bank. Next one, payment to creditors. Payment of creditors may be examined by the following: receipt issued by the creditors. If the creditors is paid amount as full and final settlement, the balance amount. If any standards in the ledger account of the creditor, this amount should be credited to discount received. Not only this, if any advance payment is made to creditor, that should be also clearly mentioned, and the statement of account of creditor. Next one, payment of salaries. Depending upon the adequacy of internal control system in an organization, auditor will decide his audit program. It is very important for auditor to check the following. What are the items are checked by the auditor means attendance record of employee and salary register, because some companies appoint the employee as a contract basis. Some on this contract they are telling the working days only taking for calculation for salaries. So at the time the attendance record for employee and salary register, appointment letter of new employees, comparison of current month salary with the last month salary, and if there is any abnormal change in amount, auditor should verify the same. Not only that, alternation is amount of deduction of account in advance, loan, fine, funds, insurance, TDS, etc. These are also checked by the auditor. Next one, payment of wages. At the time of vouchering of wages paid, the auditor should verify the following points to avoid misappropriation of cash. First one, adequacy of internal control system. Payment of wages at a higher rate than allowed. Payment shown to ex workers in the current month. Lower or non-deduction of advance or other deductions due. Payment to fictitious workers. Payment to workers who are absent from duty. Wages she should compare the wages register. Comparison of current month wages with last month wages. Detailed verification of payment to casual workers. Then vouching and verification of treatment account or treatment of unpaid wages. These are all coming under this accounting posting. Next one, purchase of plant and machinery. Auditor should pay attention of the following: purchase invoice of machinery, freight inward charges, installation charges, commissioning charges should be capitalized, and treatment of excess duty according to these excess rules. Next one, purchase of land and building. If the purchase of land and building means, it will be posting in the cash payment. How it is posting mean? How it is posting now? Study of leasehold agreement. If a land is purchased on leasehold basis, payment should be as per lease term. All the expenses incurred to acquire leasehold property should be debited to respective property account. Auditor should study the conveyance deeds in case property is purchased under the freehold basis. For verification of payment, the auditor can check the payment receipt and the conveyance deed. Next one, rent paid. Consider the following points for the verification of rent by the auditor. Already we saw in the debit side. Now it is credit side. On the rent deed, rent receipt from landlord, provision for an unpaid rent at the end of the year, and insurance premium also consider in the verification of by the auditor. Insurance premium means insurance policy issued by the insurance company. Insurance premium receipt. Insurance premium should not be related to any official of the company. Then income tax. The auditor should verification the following income tax. And what are the income taxes? Advance tax challan, self assessment tax challan, income tax demand notice, assessment order. These are all included this. Next one, excise duty. Excise duty means rate of excise duty, excise records and sales invoice for verification of excise duty. These are also verified. And then commission on sale means if you are getting commission on sale, the following points should be considered by the auditor. Agreement of sale, rate of commission on sale, calculation of commission on the basis of sale, cash receipt issued by agent, provision of commission payable. These are all included. Next one, director's fees. Consider the following for the verification of director's fees. Directors receive fees for attending the board meeting, verification of attendance register, verification of payment receipt duly acknowledged by the directors. Internal control system for cash transaction. Following are the main features of a good internal control system. First one, all cash should be accounted for immediately. All received checks should be crossed immediately on receipt. Cash receipt should be issued to debtors and daily reconciliation of accounts should be done where the debtors pay cash on daily basis. Then all the cash receipts should be deposited in bank on a daily basis. Bank reconciliation account should be prepared on a regular basis. Next one, payment other than petty payments should be done through crossed checks. Next one, cash receipt should be obtained for every cash payment to creditors. And last one, cash expenses should be duly supported by proper and genuine bills or vouchers. These are all the features of the internal control system of our cash transactions. Audit of ledger. Introduction for audit of ledger. Audit to ledger. An auditor should carry out audit of ledger after the books of original entries have been vouched and postings that from the fully checked. In business, personal ledgers such as purchase ledger and the sales ledgers are maintained to record the credit transaction. Not only that, after the books of original entries have been vouched and postings therefrom are fully checked, audit of ledger should be carried out. Okay. In business, personal ledgers such as purchase ledger and sales ledger are maintained to record the credit transaction. In purchase ledger, what is the purpose of purchase ledger? In purchase ledger, all credit purchase are recorded in the names of suppliers. Similarly, in sales ledgers, all the credit sales are recorded in the names of debtors. So that the purchase ledger is also known as the sundry creditors ledgers or accounts payable ledgers. Next one, sales ledger is also known as sundry debtor ledger or account receivable ledgers. So the cash book, purchase book, sales returns book, purchase returns books are to be totaled periodically and the summary is posted in the general ledger. So all those entries that cannot be recorded in any other book of primary entry are recorded in journal. Opening entries, closing entries, adjustment entries, rectification of errors and entries related to share capital are usually passed through journals. Okay, now this is the introduction for audit ledger. Different ledgers that have been scrutinized are bought ledger, sales ledger, general ledger and also main ledger. In different ledgers that have been scrutinized are bought ledger, sales ledger, general ledger and also main ledger. In audit ledger, the auditor should take into the account the following points while auditing the purchase ledger. First, the auditor should take opening balance. The auditor should check the opening balance of different accounts in the bought ledger with the previous year's audited balance sheet or the schedule of creditors duly checked during the previous audit. Next one, list of closing balance. The list of closing balances of creditors should be verified with the purchase ledger. The control account of the above ledger in the general ledger should be tallied with the total of the list of balances. The cases of scheduled of creditors should also be verified in the list of closing balance. Next one, the auditor should check the confirmation of balances. The purchase ledger balances should be compared with the confirmation or statement of account received. Any difference must be sorted out. Next one, amounts which remain unclaimed. If any purchases made remain unpaid for a longer period, the reason for the reason for non-payment is to be looked into. If it is sound reasonable, the unpaid amount may be suggested for write-off. Next one, disputed amounts. Certain amounts due to creditors may be disputed. Such amount must be shown in contingent liability and adequately provided for the accounts. Next one, fictitious credits. The bought ledger may be credited with larger amount fictitiously to reduce the profit. Such credits shown at the end of the accounting year should be thoroughly examined. Then debit balance also. Some accounts may show a debit balance. This may due to discount allowed by the supplier, amount due to on goods returned, advance paid to the supplier, or any purchase made by the supplier is wrongly accounted through the bought ledger instead of the sales ledger. ஏதாவது டெபிட் பேலன்ஸ் இருக்குன்னா சேல்ஸ் லெஜரில் போடுறதுக்கு பதிலாக பாட் லெஜரில் போட்டிருக்காங்களான்றதை எக்ஸாமின் பண்ணுறதும் ஆடிட்டரோடைய ஒர்க்கு தான். ஸோ இதெல்லாம் கேர்ஃபுல்லாக அவங்க என்ன பண்ணணும்னா எக்ஸாமின் பண்ணணும். Sales ledger. While examining the sales ledger, the auditor should consider the followings. The ledgers scrutinized by the auditor in the sales ledger, definitely he should consider the following ledger topics. First one, opening balance. In the year also, the opening balance of sales ledger should be verified with the balance shown in the previous year's audited balance sheet. Next one, transfer entries. There may be transfer entries from one ledger to another ledger account. It should be examined. Not only that, the auditor should ensure that such transfer are duly authorized by the responsible officer. It must be verified. Next one, writing off as bad debt. Before writing off any balance as bad debt, the client should take all efforts to recover the amount or amount should have become time barred. Okay, only the top management can decide to give up the claim and exact amount to be written off. Mostly bad debt பேலன்ஸ் பிஃபோர் ரைட் ஆஃப் பண்ணுறதுக்கு முன்னாடி எவ்வளோ தூரம் அதை நம்மளால் திருப்பி வாங்க முடியுமோ அதுக்கான ஸ்டெப்ஸை எடுக்கணும். டாப் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் ஒன்லி ஹாவ் த ரைட்ஸ் டு ரிட்டர்ன் ஆஃப். ஓகே, ஸோ த அமௌண்ட் தட் ஆர் ரிட்டர்ன் ஆஃப் ஆஸ் பேட் டெப்ட் ஷுட் பி சப்ஜெக்டட் டு எ ஸ்க்ரூட்டினைஸ்டு. எந்த ரீசனுக்கோசரம் அந்த பேட் டெப்ட்டை அவங்க ரிட்டர்ன் ஆஃப் பண்ணுறாங்கன்ற சப்ஜெக்டை டெஃபினட்டாக த ஆடிட்டர் ஷுட் எக்ஸாமின் த ரீசன் ஃபார் ரிட்டர்ன் ஆஃப் த பேட் டெப்ட்ஸ். ஓகே, நெக்ஸ்ட் ஒன், டிஸ்பியூட் வித் consumers. Sometimes if an amount due from the customer is in dispute, the auditor should verify the nature of dispute. Why the dispute it make among the between the and the client, and adequate provision should be made for the amount considered as non-recoverable. Sometimes இந்த அமௌண்ட்டை ரெக்கவரே பண்ண முடியாது அப்படின்னா அதுக்கு அடிக்குவேட்டான அளவு ரீசன்ஸ் இருக்கணும். The reason should be examined by the auditor in the time of scrutinizing the sales ledger. Then next one, discount allowed. Cash discount is to be allowed only for prompt payments. Okay, when we are giving discounts, if the payment is promptly paid only at the time of only we are giving the discounts. So if the discount allowed is unreasonable or if the allowance is adjusted against the amount that is outstanding, the same should be scrutinized. It would be a fictitious allowance created by the fraudulent employee who had misappropriated the amount collected from the customers. Sometimes என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க, கஸ்டமர்ஸ் கையிலேருந்து ஃபுல் அமௌண்ட்டை வாங்கிட்டு ஆனால் டிஸ்கவுண்ட் கொடுத்தா மாதிரி இவங்க என்ன பண்ணுவாங்கன்னா கணக்கில் காமிச்சிட்டு மீதி அமௌண்ட்டை மிஸ்அப்ராப்ரியேட் பண்ணணுன்ற மோட்டிவோட ஃப்ராட்லண்ட் பண்ணாங்கன்னா அதுக்கோசரம் தான் அந்த ப்ராப்ளம் அந்த லெஜரில் அந்த ரீசனை ஸ்க்ரூட்டினைஸ் கண்டிப்பாக ஆடிட்டர் பண்ணணும். நெக்ஸ்ட் ஒன், பார்ட் பேமெண்ட் பை கஸ்டமர்ஸ். If an amount due from the customer is in dispute, the auditor should verify the nature of dispute and amount involved. Adequate provision should be made for the amount considered as non-receivable. Confirmation of balance. Obtaining confirmation of balance directly from the debtors is the best audit practice because the client only know the correct balance. Okay, so the auditor should directly get the balance amount from the debtors. Any fraud committed or misappropriation of amount collected would come to limelight. Okay, next one, discount allowed. Cash discount is to be allowed only for prompt payments. If the discount allowed is unreasonable or if the allowance is adjusted against the amount that is outstanding, the same should be scrutinized. Sometimes என்ன பண்ணுவாங்கன்னா outstanding வர வேண்டியதுக்கு இப்போ நம்ம டிஸ்கவுண்ட் பண்ணும்போது இருக்கிறத என்ன பண்ணுவாங்கன்னா பேலன்ஸ் அட்ஜஸ்ட் பண்ண பார்ப்பாங்க. ஸோ இட் குட் பி எ ஃபிக்ஷிஷியஸ் அலவன்ஸ் கிரியேட்டட் பை த ஃப்ராடுலண்ட் எம்ப்ளாய் ஹூ ஹேட் misappropriated the amount collected from the customers. Next one, part payment by customers. If the customers make part payments and then the longest outstanding amount is to be adjusted first. Last one, list of balances. The list of closing balances of debtors should be checked with the sales ledger. Okay. After a thorough scrutiny, steps should be taken to ensure the adequate and proper provision has been made for doubtful debts. The cases and carry forwards the ledger should be verified. Next, the auditor should scrutinize the general ledger. General ledger means what are the ledgers are coming under what are the books are coming under this general ledger means the cash book, purchase book, sales return books, purchase return books are all totally periodically and the summary is posted in the general ledger. So the balance in the total amount must be equal to the total summary of the respective ledgers. So the auditor should scrutinize the general ledger after verifying the subsidiary book like cash book, sales book, purchase book, etc. He should also ensure that standard accounting practices are followed. As per disclosure requirements, any change in profit of the year under the audit must be disclosed in financial statement. Next ledger scrutinized by the auditor is main journal. The transaction of extraordinary nature for which there are no special books of original entry are recorded in journal. So a thorough verification of each journal entry is necessary. It is because a crafty entry may entirely change the picture of financial position of the organization we know. So the supporting evidence for the journal entry will be the minutes of the direct meeting, shareholders meeting, copies of correspondence, etc. These are all the supporting evidence for journal entry. So generally these documents are internally generated. So confirmation should be obtained from outside source where whatever it is possible. So transactions that are usually passed through the journal include opening entries, closing entries, adjustment entries, and then transfer entries, rectification entries, and entries relating to share capital. So now we are going to know the opening entries. Opening entries means that are to be verified with reference to the relevant items found on the balance sheet. For the business purchased from the vendor, relevant entries are passed in the journal. These are all included in the opening entries. This should be verified with agreement between the client and vendor, articles of association, and directors' minutes to ensure that there is no manipulation of accounts. These are all definitely verified by the auditor in the opening entries. Next one, closing entries. Closing entries are passed for closing and transferring balances from nominal account to profit and loss account. The auditor should verify whether the balances have been properly carried to accounts. Then third one, adjustment entries. The auditor should examine whether all adjusting entries in respect of expenses relating to the period under audit, income received in advance and income earned not received are duly made. So you should also scrutinize adjustment in respective of ப்ரீபெய்ட் எக்ஸ்பென்சஸ். ஸோ என்னென்ன அட்ஜஸ்ட்மெண்ட் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க, இன்கம் எவ்வளோ ரிசீவ் ஆயிருக்கு, அட்வான்ஸ் எவ்வளோ பே பண்ணியிருக்காங்க, எவ்வளோ இன்கம் ரிசீவ் ஆகலை, இது எல்லாமே கண்டிப்பாக எந்தெந்த இடத்துல அட்ஜஸ்ட்மெண்ட் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க, இது எல்லாத்தையுமே டெஃபினெட்லி த ஆடிட்டர் ஷுட் ஸ்க்ரூட்டினைஸ்ட் ஆன் த ரெஸ்பெக்ட் ஆஃப் ப்ரீபெய்ட் எக்ஸ்பென்சஸ் ஆல்சோ. தென் வி மூவ் டு ட்ரான்ஸ்ஃபர் என்ட்ரிஸ். Proper authorization should be obtained for the transfer from the one ledger to another ledger account. The auditor should ensure that direct transfer from one account to another account is not made. Definitely the ledger transfer from one account to another posting to the ledger. So the auditor should examine the one ledger account should not be transferred directly to the another ledger. Okay. Next one, entries relating to share capital. Entries for issue of shares, allotment and forfeiture of shares, etc. that are also passed through in journal. So every transaction should be passed through the journal entries only, not directly to one ledger to another ledger. So the auditor should carefully go through the prospectus, articles of association, directors' minutes, applications, copies of allotment letters, correspondence, etc. in order to verify these entries. And last one, rectification entries. Sometimes the entries passed are wrong. For example, an amount to be debited may be credited or credited may be debited. Rectification entries are required to be passed. So the auditor should verify whether all the rectification entries passed are correct and approved by the responsible official. Vouching of cash transactions. Vouching of cash transaction is by far the most important job in every business, irrespective of its size and type of business, etc. Before setting the program for vouching the cash book, an auditor should examine carefully the whole system of internal check in operation in respect of cash transaction. It is already explained in the topic internal check, has already been explained in detail previously. So now we are moving to next. Some of the important items which usually appear on the debit side of the cash book and the duty of an auditor in the connection are given. First one, of opening balance, cash sales, cash received from debtors, bills receivable, rent receivables, interest and dividends, sales of fixed assets, insurance claims, sales of investments, subscriptions, commission received, receipt from hire purchase. These are all entered in the debit side of the cash book. Some of the important items on the credit side of the cash book and the duty of an auditor in that connection are following. First one, capital expenditure. Capital expenditure means incurred land and building, plant, machinery, furniture, fixtures, etc. Investments, patents, loans, these are all included in the capital expenditure. Revenue expenditure means wages, salaries, petty cash, traveling expenses, insurance premiums, bank charges, postages, and then director fees, cash purchase, payment of creditors, bills payable, freight and carriage charges. These are all coming under the revenue expenditure. Vouching of outstanding assets and liabilities. Outstanding assets and expenditure which have been incurred during the year, but the benefit of which will not be enjoyed during the next year is called an outstanding assets. So outstanding assets may be classified three types. First one, prepaid expenses, income receivable, and deferred revenue expenditure. Then the expenses have been become due for payment and should have been paid during the current year, but have not been actually paid are called outstanding liabilities. Okay. Next one, outstanding liabilities means if outstanding liabilities are not charged to profit and loss account, the final account will not show the correct amount of profit and loss, and the balance sheet will also not depict the true financial position. Thus, it is the duty of the auditor to verify all the items of outstanding liabilities. Verification, meaning, objective and process. First, we have to move with the meaning of verification. Verification is concerned with testing the truth. Audit is incomplete without verification. An auditor can check that items appearing in the balance sheet are correct. There are many techniques that can help the auditor to verify assets and liabilities. The assets are purchased to run a business properly. The value and condition of asset changes due to use, a passage of time, and obsolescence. So the auditor is responsible for reporting about a true and fair view of profit and loss account and balance sheet of the company every year. So he must obtain through knowledge about business matters. Verification is essential to discharge responsibility. The Existence and valuation of asset and liability are necessary to protect the rights of shareholders. That the auditor should check the asset stated in the balance sheet are owned by such business. There is need to check possession of these assets. Moreover, it is necessary to see that assets are free of charge. A loan is taken against any asset, then there is the charge on that assets. So the auditor note that proper disclosure has been made in books of accounts. Now we are moved to definition of verification. The definition of verification may be given by many authors. First, now we go move with the author Joseph Lansters says that verification of asset is a process by which the auditors substantiate the accuracy of the right hand side of the balance sheet. Then we moved with Arthur W. Holmes says that verification is the proof of accuracy of extension, footing, posting, existence and ownership of assets. Then Spicer and Pillager say that verification of asset implies an inquiry into the value, ownership and title, existence and possession, the presence of any charge on the assets. These are all the definition given by the different authors to verification. Now we are going to study about the techniques of verification. First techniques, physical existence. The technique of verification is checking the existence of assets. The asset must have a physical existence in some sort of movable or immovable property, whatever it is. The auditor can count, measure, examine and inspect for verification of various assets. This is the first technique of verification. Then second one, proper valuation. The technique of verification is the valuation of an asset. So there are fixed and circulating assets. So the management does the valuation process. The auditor can check the value assigned to each asset. Okay, the audit staff can examine the arithmetical accuracy. ப்ராப்பராக வந்து எவாலுவேட் பண்ணுறது யார் பண்ணுவாங்கன்னா மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் பண்ணுவாங்க. அவங்க பண்ண எவாலுவேஷன் கரெக்டாக இருக்கா அப்படின்றத ஆடிட்டரும் ஆடிட் ஸ்டாஃபும் கரெக்டாக அரித்மெட்டிக்கல் அக்யூரஸியை என்ன பண்ணுவாங்கன்னா செக் பண்ணுவாங்க. நெக்ஸ்ட் டெக்னிக்ஸ் என்னன்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஓனர்ஷிப் ஆஃப் பிஸ்னஸ். த டெக்னிக் ஆஃப் வெரிஃபிகேஷன் இஸ் த டிட்டர்மினேஷன் ஆஃப் ஓனர்ஷிப். ஸோ த அசட் மஸ்ட் பி ஓன்டு பை த பிஸ்னஸ். த ரெசிப்ட், வவுச்சர்ஸ் அக்ரிமெண்ட் அண்ட் deeds can help to note the title of ownership. ஓனர்ஷிப் வந்து அவங்க கையில் தான் இருக்கா, பிஸ்னஸுக்கு பேரில் தான் இருக்கான்றதை என்ன பண்ணுவாங்கன்னா வெரிஃபை பண்ணுற டெக்னிக்ஸ். நெக்ஸ்ட் டெக்னிக்ஸ், ஸோ அதை எதை பேஸ் பண்ணி வெரிஃபை பண்ணுவாங்கன்னா ரெசிப்ட்டு, வவுச்சர் புக்கு, வவுச்சர் அக்ரிமெண்ட்ஸு, டாக்குமெண்ட், டீட்ஸு எல்லாத்துலேயுமே வந்து டைட்டில் ஆஃப் ஓனர்ஷிப்பு பிஸ்னஸில் எதில் நோட் பண்ணியிருக்காங்களோ சேம் திங்ஸை தான் கொடுத்துருக்காங்களா அப்படின்றத பார்க்கணும். ஸோ அந்த அசட் மஸ்ட் பி ஹெல்டு இன் த நேம் ஆஃப் த பிஸ்னஸ். எல்லா அசட்டுமே எதோட நேமில் இருக்கணும்னா பிஸ்னஸோட நேமில் இருக்கணும். நெக்ஸ்ட் ஒன் வந்து பொசஷன் வித் பிஸ்னஸ். த டெக்னிக் ஆஃப் வெரிஃபிகேஷன் செக்கிங் த பொசஷன் ஆஃப் அசட். கேஷியர் தே மே அசட் பொசஸ் ஷுட் கேஷ் வைல் பீயிங் இன் த பொசஷன் ஆஃப் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட். சப்போஸ் an officer hold stock in trade, the auditor should physically check the asset in the custody of various employees. நெக்ஸ்ட் டெக்னிக்ஸ் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஃப்ரீ ஃப்ரம் ஆன் அசட் சார்ஜ். when the loan techniques is taken of the verification of assets or in transferred the examination in the charge name of lenders. Okay, the auditor should check the assets that are free. assets வந்து ஃப்ரீயாக இருக்கா, எதுலேயுமே வந்து அது மேலே எந்த லோனோ இல்லைனா வந்து மார்ட்டேஜோ பண்ணாமல் இருக்காங்களா. in case of borrowing he can examine the need to note the charge. suppose அதாவது லோனோ இல்லை மார்ட்டேஜோ பண்ணியிருந்தாங்கன்னா அதுக்கான நோட்டை வந்து எக்ஸாமின் பண்ணி பார்க்குறது வெரிஃபிகேஷனுடைய நெக்ஸ்ட் டெக்னிக்ஸ். அடுத்த டெக்னிக் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா பர்ச்சேஸ்டு ஃபார் பிஸ்னஸ். த டெக்னிக் ஆஃப் வெரிஃபிகேஷன் டு செக் த பர்ச்சேசஸையும் என்ன பண்ணுவாங்கன்னா செக் பண்ணுவாங்க. த அசட் மட் பி பர்ச்சேஸ்டு இன் த நேம் ஆஃப் த கம்பெனியா, கம்பெனியோட நேமில் தான் அசட் வாங்கியிருக்காங்களா, அதுக்கான டாக்குமெண்ட்டில் வந்து கம்பெனியோட நேம் ஷோ ஆயிருக்கா. த கம்பெனி மஸ்ட் பி ஹெல்டு இன் த நேம் ஆஃப் எனி எம்ப்ளாய். இல்லை வேறு எந்த எம்ப்ளாயி நேம்லையும் இல்லாமல் இருக்கா, பிஸ்னஸுக்கு வாங்குறேன்னு சொல்லிட்டு கணக்கு காமிச்சிட்டு யாருன்னா இண்டிவிஜுவல் அவங்க பேரில் ஏதாவது வாங்கியிருக்காங்களா அப்படின்றத எக்ஸாமின் பண்ணுறது அடுத்த டெக்னிக். நெக்ஸ்ட் ஒன் adequate disclosure. The technique of verification is adequate disclosure of assets and liabilities. All the assets and liabilities can be stated under the proper heading கீழே வரணும். எல்லா அசட்டும் லைபிலிட்டியும் அந்தந்த ப்ராப்பரான ஹெட்டிங் கீழே போஸ்டிங் பண்ணியிருக்காங்களான்னு பார்க்கணும். ஈவன் த கண்டிஞ்சன்ட் லைபிலிட்டி ஆர் ஆல்சோ டிஸ்க்ளோஸ்டு ஃபார் இன்ஃபர்மேஷன். ஏதாவது கண்டிஞ்சன்ட் லைபிலிட்டிஸ் இருந்ததுனா கூட அதை கூட என்ன பண்ணியிருக்கணும்னா அதை பற்றின இன்ஃபர்மேஷனை டிஸ்க்ளோஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கணும். These are all the techniques of verifications.